Well, hello again, YouTube. Today, we're doing the rear strut on this car. We did the fronts already. As you can see, the fronts are raised up a little bit higher. See? But this one is kind of sagging a lot. And that's because these are old worn out springs. So, we're going to go ahead and swap this out. First thing you got to do, go into the trunk, pull this lever. Mine broke off. But you pull this lever, and you'll hear the sound. And that then allows you to push the trunk open like that. We go around the car, and when this seat comes down, push this down, there's this little hatch. Inside this hatch, sorry for the finger keeps getting in the way, you pry this open, there are 3 bolts, well, nuts on the top. There's 1, 2, and there's one on the very back on the left side. So we're gonna have to pull those out too. Loosen those up first. Then what we need to do is, of course, jack up the car, get the tire off. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and we'll be right back. And as a friendly reminder, always use something as like a jack stand to keep yourself safe. So we're gonna jack up the car. Now the wheel is off the ground. So now we're gonna move this. And I always put this guy right underneath here. This is my catastrophic failure in case. This jack can handle this weight. You can always lower this on the jack stand too, but for me, right now, I'm just gonna have this underneath here. And now it's not going anywhere. So we're gonna take the tire off. Also, to make life easier, we're gonna put a big fat screwdriver in here and start to just kind of crank. So you just, oops. Shove it in here like that. Turn. Shove it in and turn. That's how these wonderful little ghetto hubcaps come off. They're nothing amazing, but this is how it's done. So, wedge, screwdriver. The bigger and fatter the screwdriver, the better this works. If you do it wrong, you can break these plastic tabs, which sucks because then your hubcap is gone. So now, hubcap off, we gotta loosen the lug nuts. So normally you can hit these, take them off. Problem is we gotta loosen them up a little bit because they have about 80 pounds on them. Okay, lug nuts are loosened. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you've ever been curious what happens if you don't jack up the car and take the wheel off, the car will actually start to fall off of the tire and wheel and crash, like just on the ground. So don't do that. But if you're curious, on the other side, my son and I just for fun tested it out while we have the jack underneath it to lift it up really quickly, and we saw it started automatically like falling over. So thing to not do, but just so you know, that will happen. So I'll move Mr. Tire out of here. Okay, tire is now there. Now look at those wonderfully rusted over Colorado hubs. That's amazing. So, what we gotta do, which kind of sucks, but there's a lot of good light. This is awesome. This is your brake line, okay? Going here and then goes down into this guy, which is your drum. So, we have to actually loosen this. This is a 10 millimeter. Now, I was trying to teach my son earlier, this is a good regular box wrench. However, let me show you the difference. So see how that looks? Okay, now watch. This is a flare wrench. This actually gives you a little more bite. So when you put that on there, you have to actually, you can't put it like this. You have to actually go on, go down. This is great for fuel lines and brake lines. But once you get it actually to land, now you can put some significant torque on there to back this off and take this brake line and loosen it. So brake line is now loose. And this is gonna make a mess. If you have a better way of doing this, I'd love to know, because this is like one of the messiest things I've had to do in a while. This also kind of torques on this brake line a little bit. So what I did is we had the, originally when we did the other side, we made the mistake of doing this last, but this is held in right here by this annoying, stupid clip. And this is the biggest pain in the butt for this particular job. So if you can see this clip, this metal tab, the way you do this is you're gonna grab a pair of these guys and you want to bite onto this and you start to wriggle it off, and you'll actually slide this way to the right on this particular one. There should be a groove cut in here on the side. There is not. I will go get my light so I have a little bit more lighting. But in order to do this job, you need to take out this little knuckle, which I believe is a 12 or 14. We'll check in a second. And then this big bolt here, and then this one right here. So 1, 2, 3. After we get those guys loose, then we're gonna work on the brake line, because as soon as you open this, guess what? Brake fluid's gonna go everywhere. So we gotta bite down on this to make sure this stays loose. But if you get the brake line out and loosen this up, then I think what we can do is then we can pull this clip out, because the clip is securing this, and we want to not twist and yank on the brake line, because yeah, we like brakes. So then once we've done that, we're gonna go back up top, and you can kind of see this strut. I don't know if you can see it's kind of just it's old and it looks like crap. And so this, like I said, it's a 20-year-old car. So we're gonna go inside the car when that's done and go into this box in here and disconnect those, or loosen those other 3. Then we gotta do a little bit of prying. So first, let me get some of the big heavy hitters out of the way. All right, here we are. So this size here, I believe, is a 17 millimeter. It is. So these are on stupid tight. Obviously, this suspension, they need to be. So you're gonna need to put a wrench on one side and then put another wrench on the other side, like so. And this is where, if you have any way to make some leverage, you want to do that, because leverage is cool. That is, let me make sure I'm going the right way. It's the beauty of being left-handed. Yep, we just gotta go up. Jeez. So let's see if we can go down on this side, because pushing seems to be, there we go. So see how it moved a little bit? Okay. You're gonna have to forgive my moaning, because I'm a loud car moaner, I guess. But when I was a kid, we were in judo, and they're like, you gotta like just feel the, you know, the rage. And I was like, okay. I don't think it really did anything, because it really wasn't that good, but you know, it was fun. So there's that. So what I like to do is, my rule underneath the car, because I leave this stuff under the car, is I'll take this and like, all right, this is the top. So I took this out of the top, so I'm gonna lay this right here. Underneath this is the top one, and then the next one will be here. So let's get that second one out. Okay, so same deal. We may need an extension on this. Okay, we will need an extension on this, because this is not long enough. See? So if you're not familiar with extensions, that is okay. This is an extension. So put this in here, put this in here, and now we're golden. But again, I don't have enough torque. I'm lifting the car when I do this. So, and again, the smart thing to do is use great uncle leverage and use the longer one. I'm gonna go on the back side of this bolt so you can see it. Let's see, where's the back side of the bolt? Oh, I'm struggling here. Sorry, guys. There it is. Okay, see the bolt? That's the back side. The sun's not helping us. So, that's where we're going to be. Put it back over here now. So I'm driving down the street with a Tesla. And I said this nut's turning. You guys see that? Yes, that means I gotta put something on there. So what did we say this was? 17 millimeter. Thank you, self. So I'm gonna put this guy on here, which is kind of a little hack if you're like wanting a trick to do this. Set this on here, and then get it in a spot, maybe like that. What will happen is as you go, sometimes it'll turn and it'll just hold just like that. So you didn't have to hold it, just hold itself. But that can be useful in certain situations. Let's see if we can take this out now. Wow, it's still not even finger tight. That's too bad. Alright, we'll keep going with this. Now, you really do want some significant leverage on this one, because I'm not joking. I think they said the book is like 250 foot-pounds, something crazy. So, I didn't really pay attention because I wasn't really worried about it. But, that's a big number. So, it's not going to be like a lug nut. So now I'm taking these two, and I'm putting this below. So top, bottom, not that it matters, but that's what I do. Because this is the top side, and this is the bottom side. So, see that top, bottom? Hopefully you can see that. Okay. So I love doing this with a cell phone. Thank you for being patient. So now, we're going after this guy next. So let's see if we can get him out. Okay. All right. This guy. So, what did we say he was? 14? That sounds right. Here's a 14. Oh, amazing. Okay. This one is not as tough as the other one. But, and then this is what I call a knuckle buster right here. You just like push and then bam, slam yourself. So save yourself the pain. Get the longer wrench again out if you have the clearance. Always smarter to do it this way. Still gonna probably hurt myself, but at least you guys can be witnesses. I tried. Oh, there we go. Okay. So that's loose enough. Now let's switch it to a usable ratchet. Okay, so now what I've found on the other side, when you take this sucker off, you gotta punch it through with like a. Is that actually moving? I hope that's not twisting the backside. I do have this cool tool. I don't know why I'm not using my ratchet, power ratchet. So give me just a second. Swap this out. Okay. So this guy is one of my favorite tools now because well, it just makes this job easier. What are we doing? Now, of course, I know this isn't an impact one. Oh, that's the darn it. Okay, so I need nope. I just had it. There you go. Step it up from a 3/8 to a half. Heck yeah. Now we'll take it out. I don't feel like that's moving it at all. Huh. That's weird. It's just spinning. Well, one of those tricks in life you can do sometimes is get a screwdriver behind it. Okay, it's actually moving a little bit better. So get a screwdriver wedge behind it. Oh man, I did not have this problem on the other side. Of course, that's how all this stuff goes, man. So let's see, what is spinning on this? Oh, there we go. So screwdriver behind. Almost there. Come on, puppy. Oh, take that. There she is. So, this bolt. What I was telling you is you got to kind of just smack it, but what you don't want to do is damage it. So I actually took this on last time, put it on a little bit, just a little bit, and then somewhere around here is my dead blow hammer. Ah, here you are. See that? Okay, bonk that back a little bit, and then I dropped the nut. So, here's the nut. Like I was telling you, I put it down on some of the left side. So I put it on the left side in our pile. See him? Right there. Okay, so now, take something, maybe a socket head or something that's not going to damage this, and then your dead blow. Knock them through. You can. I have not found an easier way to do this. So again, if you find a better way, let me know. But I'm going to knock this guy through. What I'll do, because he's kind of annoying and obnoxious on this side, I'm going to see if I can lift up this or down and wiggle this guy out of there, because this part does move. So I'm going to go to the top. We're going to see if we can get those pieces out. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to knock this guy through. So I just took this guy here, put it on the edge. Got him out. See how he is now free swinging? See this guy? He was sitting in there. So that is now out. So now we just have the brake line in here with our stupid clip. Now I've loosened it, so let me switch this around. Okay. And let's get a light for a second. All right, we got a little bit more light here. This is my cool light one. So you can see that this guy is getting ready to come out. Let me see how loose he is. 10 millimeter. Now you don't have to use the, you can use a flare nut if you want, or flare wrench, but, sorry, I keep saying flare nut. Flare nut is for like a gas line when you are running like propane. But that's not what we're doing here, so it is a flare wrench. So we're going to loosen this guy, take him all the way out. You know, it's funny, I've noticed about YouTube, some people are like, they just skip over everything, and I find myself doing that. But sometimes you miss the fun and the humor of all this craziness going on. So do you guys see how these holes are exposed now? 1, 2. Those holes are where those bolts were. So all we got to do is get this clip out. So we're going to see if we can get him out. And this may be a challenge with having just one hand, but I'm going to take some channel locks and see if we can wriggle this guy out of there. So bite him on. Oh, jeez. Okay. Let's see if we can do it this way. Switch. Okay, so two-handed this. You want to pry? Oh, there we go. See that? So pry it in the corner and start to pull it back. This. Now the worst thing is getting this stupid thing back on. The other side was so frustrating. So I don't know another way of doing this other than torque from channel locks. There we go. That's what we're trying to get off. This raised edge, so you can see right here, that's the edge. That's what you got to pull on. So now that we've done that, let's switch it around here. This is now, super wiggly. I'm guessing over the lifetime of the vehicle, this wiggling would probably be bad. I don't really think it matters that much because it's just such a royal pain to get that stupid thing out back in. But for the sake of brake fluid literally not going everywhere, we're gonna leave that in for now. This is the brake one we loosened. Once we pull this out, it's gonna start dripping. So I'm gonna go up top. We're gonna see if we can pull those other bolts out. All right, here we are up top. So here's the thing. You guys see those bolts now? 1, 2, 3. Gotta pull those out of there. I'm trying to decide what those are. I'm guessing they're 12s, but we'll go find out. This is a 10. 10 is too small. If you don't have one of these, I highly recommend you get one. It's just a way to store your sockets. So you can be like, oh, if the 10 didn't fit, let's go with the 12. That sounds good. All right, so the moment of truth. Oh, we got ourselves a match. So if you weren't paying attention, that was a 12. What I'm gonna try to do is, oh, I love doing this with one hand. One day I'll be cool and have like a filming crew. Nah, just kidding. That sounds dumb. I want to be like all these other clowns. See if we can get this thing in here. Hey, hey! Well, that tells us one thing. It isn't working. So, that would mean that, let me make sure I'm going backwards. We are. Okay, good. So I gotta use some torque. So, I don't know if I've showed you guys this before, but if not, do it anyway. So this is like, here's a small ratchet, right? Because we're in a tight space and I'm like trying to wrench on this thing. That's kind of dumb. Let me show you the fix. So, as we all remember from our cool favorite classes in life, physics, you either hated it or you were screwing around because there was some pretty girl drawing on your arm. Not to say that was what happened to me. That totally was. So, you want some leverage. Something that's like longer, like this. Something that can just give you like, oh, look at that. Okay, it's like an advertisement for science. Dude. Okay, let's see if we can do the next one. Let's see if science is still true in 2000 whatever, 24. Okay, ready? So that's too hard. Now I put this on. Oh, man. Like break this thing off. Stupid car. All right, it's two of them. Now, what's funny is, so we'll just take those out loosely. I think you can even take them off by hand once you've loosened them. Okay, that one will. That one will. Let go of my glove. Okay. So, these don't really matter because we're swapping them out. You could just like, yeah, rage throw if you'd like. Or you could keep it in your special box of all the nuts and bolts you keep on forever. Yes, guys, I'm talking to all of you because I have one of those too. So, and don't ever throw mine away. It's like the coolest thing ever. There's like washers in there that I'll never use. I love them. All right, so I got to get way back there and see if I can hit that bolt. So I'm going to do that probably off camera because I'm already using two of the two hands I have. So that's two less. So bear with me. All right, so as you can see, I got the wrench on there now and again, super tight. So we're going to use our cool science and break this sucker loose. There we go. Now, I'm not really sure what's happening down below, but it's not like it's gonna like fall and kill everybody, so it's okay. Now, there's probably some weight on this sucker because this is the last melon. Let's see. Ow, 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 come on. Okay, right hand may be better. Dadgummit. Sometimes when I it sucks to have big hands. Not that mine are massive, but give me a ow break. Okay, still can't take it off my finger. So let's go back in there with you. See if we can find out where you are. And this is the patient part of life. But at least I have football going on in the background, which I'm really obviously paying very much attention to right now. I think the Bills are playing the Rams, so that's good. Dadgum, it's still stuck in there, so we're going to do a little more. All right, we are back for more. I'm going to put a little angle on this so you guys can see what I'm doing here. We talked about this flare, so I guess you can't really see it here. It's not really a good angle for this unless I'm like really super close, but I have to loosen this nut. So, see how this moves? So that's what we got to do now is we got to get this nut loosened all the way, which is our brake line. So, I'm going to go here. Okay, so you can see this. This is the bottom of it. There's a nut there. If you can't see it, trust me, it's there. Alright, so here we go. I was trying to explain to my son yesterday. He's like, Dad, I hate this lefty-loosey, righty-tighty thing. Why don't they just say counterclockwise and clockwise? And I'm like, I don't have a good answer for you. Like, that is pretty stupid. Because what is left, what is right? I mean, if you're upside down, or, gosh, being left-handed, like, all this stuff kind of sucks. So, you're like, always thinking backwards. Someone's like, oh, it's super obvious. And you're like, well, yeah, not to me. But only like 1 out of every 9 people supposedly is left-handed, so I'm one of the lucky ones, I guess. But 1 out of every 9 of you is like, stop complaining. They're just scissors. Although it's funny, like scissors are like the one thing I used to never like dealing with. But I have to tell you, like, someone said driving a automatic or a manual transmission will be hard. Dude, that's easy. If you can't drive a stick, I'm sorry, but it has nothing to do with being left or right-handed. I love driving a manual. I sold them because, as all of us good males do, we fall in love and we get married, and then we marry someone who doesn't know how to drive a standard transmission. So we go, goodbye. And now I'm stuck with automatics. And I say stuck thing, I'd rather be married than have stupid manuals. But none of these cars that have a family, like none of the vans or the trucks that are big, huge, have what we need here. So, it's kind of a problem. Like, none of them have a stick anyway, so you're kind of stuck either way. So you see all the dripping that's coming down? So this is the beauty of doing this in a time crunch. So while you do this, I would suggest, once you get the sucker out of there, okay, ready? Okay. So now this guy is gonna drip like crazy. So I put him up here. It doesn't matter because gravity is gonna make this just drip. There's nothing you can do about it because the reservoir is higher. So again, physics. So now I gotta get this sucker out of here. So this is gonna probably all come falling down. So let's see if I can do it this way. Okay, so now what you wanna do, back up a little bit, is start to yank and groan and frustratedly get this stupid thing out of here. So you can knock on it like that, as long as your brake line is out of the way. Okay, that popped out. Actually, that wasn't that bad. Oh, okay. Well, for once, things are easy. Knock on wood. So, important is look at this pattern. Okay, because the new one is like this. And yesterday I was like, oh crap, there's 4. And it was really emotional for about 10 seconds until we realized these right here are just bolts that go in, and it's kind of offset, so you can use the left or the right one. So don't freak out if you're like me. I was like, because I was pissed. I was like, Dad, gummit, I cannot believe that I bought the wrong one when I have everything already apart. So, but that's also luck. So I'm gonna take this sucker off if we can. Okay, good. So we're gonna put one of these back in. Now this is gonna be kind of a hurried job because I don't want brake fluid all over the place, but I do have my cool painted floor, so it's awesome. So line these guys up next to each other, so you see how they go. We've already verified the other side, so that's good. So then, looking at this one and that one, we can see that this one here has the bolt. This one here, it's going to be this side. So we'll just know that when we put it back in. So now, I haven't done this part by myself because I had my son with me, so this is going to suck. But we're going to shove that new one back in and take these nuts off. But just set one of them on, and then that way we can pull the rest of this in. So put those in loose. So the installation is basically the reverse of what we just did. And as you can see, so that wonderful fluid is our brake fluid. So it's going to be dripping. Now that's not a lot, okay? So, but still, if you take a while or struggle with some of this stuff, see the difference between this one? See, now, I know they would say, oh, it's not blown, but it looks pretty crappy to me compared to this. And again, it was like $40. So whatever. But you see how I've seen some models or videos, dudes will have a notch cut right here. So you can just slide the thing out. This one doesn't have that, and I thought about taking like an angle grinder and just cutting a notch right there, but I was like, my son's probably gonna wreck this car. But don't say that. But anyway, 16-year-old kid's gonna get this. So I'm hoping everything goes well, and he is exactly as responsible as I would. No, he was way more responsible than me. Let's say that. So that's the expectation. All right, so we've got this in. We're gonna take those off, and let's see what happens here. So I'm gonna switch this around. Now, I'm not expecting this to go well because I'm alone. So I'm gonna sing the All By Myself song. I would suggest doing so because that's how this feels. All right. All by myself. Okay, so this goes back in this way, and I misplaced. Where's my nuts? There's 2 of them, and where's those other cool bolts? This is why my wife always tells me I should organize things, and this is why wives are always right. Shh, don't tell them that. Shh. There they are. See, totally organized. Good. All right, I'll put them up here on the refrigerator. All right, let's see if we can make some magic. These are not super light, but they're not terribly heavy, so man up. But I'm going to line these up where they're supposed to go, and then kind of just shove. That's the technical word. All right. So, is that it? That's close. Yep, this is going to suck. Okay, so getting brake fluid everywhere. You can kind of see. Okay, I felt it go in, but I'm all alone. So I'm gonna try to shove something underneath the suspension here. Oh, that's really useful. And that didn't work. Suck. Okay. Next attempt. I'm gonna just shove it and hold it. So, it's easier, honestly, if you don't have all this crap everywhere. But no, if you look in and see your bolts are, you can kind of go straight up. All this junk was out of the way. Come on, brake line, why are you gonna be like that? This is so much fun. I always wonder how many people actually keep watching me as I struggle. Oh, yeah. Okay, stay. There's one of the screws. Come on, baby. Yes. Oh. Okay, so let me show you what I just was able to accomplish. Yay me. So, I put one of those nuts right there on. So what we're gonna do is keep tightening it. This is like my worst video editing ever because my gloves are covered in brake fluid and there's brake fluid everywhere. So let's see if we can put some more of these in. So I'm gonna take my little mount here, set this here so you can see the car a little bit. Okay, so now if you want to use this, you can. You don't need this anymore. But what we do need, I think one of them was a 10 millimeter, I forget. But here's one of the other nuts. So, as I drop it. Okay, so we were doing a 10 millimeter. Oh, it's not that one. So the little small ones that came with this kit are 2 10 millimeters. But this one has got to be a 12. So, somewhere around here. Wait, no, is this a 12? This is a 12. Oh, it's got to be like a 14 because 17 is 2. It's not 17. This goes back to my wife was always right. Okay, there. I think this feels like a 14. So, let's see if I can loosen it with, or tighten it with just this socket in there because I don't have my other one with me at the moment. So let's take a 14. Oh wait, I do have them. That's right. So it is a 14. I sized it on there. That feels right. So on the 3/8 guys that I told you about, which I do keep organized. Thank you very much. 14th, right? Because 10, 12, 14. And these, if you're doing Hondas or Toyotas, 10, 12, 14, and 17 are like all they know how to use. So just like everything used to be in the old days, 1/2 inch, 5/8, or 9/16, 3/4. But who wants to do math? I don't. So that same nut, all I'm doing is just tightening it. If you need to see that, just visualize with your eyes. But no, I'm just tightening that nut. The one that I pushed through and I showed you a second ago. So what I'm not seeing though, oh there it is. I was gonna say I'm not seeing the other nut or bolt coming through the top. Once you get this one in, you don't want to go all the way tight because you gotta finagle down below, which stinks. So the other nut on this particular one is farther in the back. I love how this handles in my way. So carefully, I'll take this one and put it on the back bolt, the bolt that just came through. So I got it on there, good, that's step one. Now I'm gonna get this ratchet in there. So it's kind of nice that it's the back one, honestly, because this is the one that I was mostly concerned with, because it's farther back in there. Oh, that's great. The problem is that you gotta actually get it finger tightened, loosen, or tighten up, as you guys know, with the ratchets. Otherwise, it'll just free spin, and that's super annoying. Still not tight enough. And it doesn't help that there's brake fluid all over these gloves. Wow. So, the third and final bolt is in fact this 10mm. Oh, wait, was it 12? Okay, this is 12. Where's my 10mm? There you are. So, 10mm. What I did last time is actually put the sucker on like that, and that was actually kind of nice. So let me show you how this works. So as I've been describing, there's the first bolt / nut. There's the second one farther back. If you can't see it, it's right there. That's the guy. And I haven't tightened them all the way up yet, but this one, this third hole right here, that's where you're gonna put this 10mm guy in. And you wanna be careful because he'll fall out like that. So, and getting back behind here is a pain in the neck. So I like to just shove this in here kind of like that, and then hit it with this because it's kind of fun. Plus, I bought this thing, I want to use it. And nothing's happening, which means, frustratedly, I have to tighten the rest of these more. So, no big deal. Except the stupid thing's stuck in there now. But we had this problem yesterday where we were trying to get this in there, and my son was like, "Hey, Dad, it's not working. Come on." But anyway, so you need this all the way up because these threads are not going to find anything in there. So we'll have to tighten this one and the one I just showed you in the back almost all the way. But before we do that, let's go back down to brake fluid heaven, and we're gonna go check the reservoir in a second, make sure I didn't bleed it too dry. I'm gonna bleed the brakes anyway. I don't think you have to, and yes, I know this is just a goopy mess. So now that I have this here, we can line this guy up. And again, I'm gonna want 2 hands here. So let me switch this around so you can see what we're doing. Okay. So there's our wonderful area that we're in. And here's our cool light. So everything up here is good except for those 3 bolts we were just talking about. So down the bottom here, I'm gonna line all this stuff up. So if I show you a little more, nothing is really lined up well. You see this hole here? Okay, this is not lined up. Beautiful. So what I'm gonna try to do is find a way to wriggle this guy correctly. So let me stick this magnet light somewhere that's useful. That's no, that's useful. Useless for you. So do it this way. It's all trial and error. Okay. Better? So this thing goes up and down. I don't care what it's called because I don't care. So you're gonna basically kind of shove and get this thing in there. Now, what I'm fighting against, not this guy, we'll get this guy, this little rubber screwy thingy in. We'll get him in a minute. But what I found, hammer time. So you can just kind of hammer this guy back in. If you can push this one through, I tell you, this brake fluid everywhere is just so freaking annoying. So push this down, wriggle this forward. Kind of have to just, because I don't know why these don't mate perfectly, but it's China. No offense, China, but almost there. So this is, like I said, is the other annoying part. You have some wiggle up and down. That's what's nice. But then this piece right here, you kind of shove down and then wedge into that hole. Like that. Okay. That's in. But again, we gotta basically press, shove, finagle this to get into there. Now, what I might need to do to make my life a little easier is go up top and tighten it. But this is so unfortunate. I hate this thing. Now, once you have this here, you can take the brake line, which you can't see, so I'll switch around. See the brake line? Brake line here, see? Okay, let's get it back up a little bit. Okay, so here's your brake line. What we can do is we can attach him now because I think we're tired of the mess. So let's make it to where you can see a little better. Okay, brake line, yay. So we're gonna put him on here. And he doesn't go on easy. That'd be nice, but no. So you put him in, find your 10mm, and then you want to go clockwise. So with one hand holding the top down, one hand holding the bottom, you can sit there and start to tighten this. At least enough to get the dripping to stop. Good grief. Although, you've seen some of my videos about like bleeding stuff, and so hey, if you want to bleed brakes, this is kind of a drain and fill because we drained a ton out. And so, but I'm going to bleed the brakes, so don't panic. I'm not one of those like people that are just going to leave this. Although yesterday we were playing with this and it didn't actually like the car worked fine after we drove it. Because I was planning on bleeding them immediately, but because the reservoir never got emptied, that was good. And then I guess we didn't, push on the brakes during this time, so we didn't have to deal with any of that stuff. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. Hopefully you can. If not, this is a very boring video. But I'm just tightening this guy right here. That's our brake line. I really appreciate guys like all this YouTube stuff. It's kind of fun to me. I know that there's some people that make like hand over fist. They make so much money with this kind of stuff. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, I am never gonna make. I might make like a little bit on some of this stuff later, but right now I'm not gonna go into the millionaires. That's for sure. So what we're gonna try to do is, now that we have things mostly in place, we're gonna see if we can. This really fights you. That one piece I was showing you guys earlier. So like I said, this is the biggest pain. And this is the problem with doing it by yourself. Is it looks like this. It's just stupid, annoying. So we will get this, but it is going to be a frustrating experience. Because I gotta line those guys up. So, and since there's brake fluid freaking everywhere. This guy right here is when it sits there and pulls on you, so there we go. Oh, look at that. So now, take one of your bolts. Remember how we laid them out, right? So, you can do the bottom or the top. Don't think it really matters. But I'm going to say it totally matters. because I'm gonna make stuff up, just like President Trump. I mean, not saying I don't like the guy or like the guy, but he makes stuff up, just like Biden makes stuff up too. His is just from fantasy fairyland, because nobody knows what he's talking about. Politically, if you're curious, I think all of it is fun. I don't particularly yes or no to a party, because I'm not a party guy, but I do think some of the stuff is hilarious, President Trump says. But I think, there we go. One. Got it, let's do it by one. I think we're supposed to respect our leaders. And I think it sends a bad message when we don't. I know it's hard to. Some of the stuff they say and do is ridiculous. But to me, if we're raising the future generations and we're trying to tell them how to be, teaching them to be disrespectful, certainly this is not going to do us any favors when we get older. My opinion. But you can do what you want. It's a free country. You can be disrespectful, and I'll still be like, cool, man. Whatever. Oh. Okay. Almost done. This is, like I said, the worst part. Of course, I kind of feel like I've said everything is the worst part. So maybe this whole job is the worst part. But it's getting this last bolting. This side didn't have as much of a problem, but you can't really see it. But I need to bring this whole thing over about I don't know, a certain amount. Maybe I can. Nope, can't pull that out. So I need this to go that way. I did nothing. When I stuck this screwdriver in, I was able to at least wedge it, so that needs to stay right there. Okay, so hold it really tight. Not tight enough. Okay, let's try it again. Push down hard. Are we there? No! Come on, baby. There it is. Ah, you gotta lift this up. You gotta make those groaning sounds. Hammer time. See, isn't this fun? What are you gonna pay someone like $4 million to do it? So, nut goes on the other side. And I shouldn't have to tell you how that works, but if you'd like me to describe it in great detail, I can do that for you. Alright, so, where do we leave off? Somewhere stupid. No, I'm just kidding. So, I think it's a 17 millimeter. And I was right! Oh man, dude, look at this gloves. Ugh. Okay, so, why do you wear gloves? Well, I don't think any of these chemicals are good for you, but two, what is your wife going to want to see? This or this, right? If you got a wife, you know what I'm talking about. I don't want you anywhere near them with your gross hands. So, it's always important. Gloves are cheap. Love is not. Get more gloves. Here they are. I was actually going to do another show from Harbor Freight, because there's some stuff there that I'm like, yeah, you know, but dude, some of their tools is really coming along. I'm always skeptical about batteries, I have to be honest, but it's because like years ago I bought a crappy Harbor Freight drill, battery powered, and that stupid thing like did not work well at all. But all of their electric stuff worked solid. I still have, I think it's like a US General or Central Pneumatic or something. But I still have one of their a couple of their electric tools, like the Sawzall, angle grinders. They all still work fine. So, 17. Does I have another 17 right here? That's a 14. All right. So, 21. Okay. We're at 21. Where's my other 17? Love it. All right. So here's the one. Let's at least get that on there. I think it was on the ratchet gun, wasn't it? You're supposed to be watching. Pay attention. Don't let me have antics. Alright. This is not all the way in. Boom. There it is. Okay, now. Put the nut back on, the big one. Now, I still haven't done the top end all the way yet. But that's okay. We will. So I'm on the other side of this bolt. This one right here. The trick is these suckers you gotta put on so tight. So tight. I'm wondering if I should, let me see. I'll go up on top, I'm just gonna look and see. I can see both of my, oh, okay. So the nuts are exactly where they're supposed to be, which is sweet. So I will show you that in a second. But that's what we wanted. I'm sorry, the bolts. The bolts are exactly where we want them to be. It's 14. It's not 17. It's a 14 as well. Where the heck did my 17 go? Huh. I don't know, man. Well, we'll find it. Okay, so get this one as tight as you can, for the most part. And then, there's the 17. I knew it. So then this bottom one, there's some other bolt somewhere. Oh, it's already on there. The nuts are already on there. Okay, cool. You know, it's funny. Some people hate car stuff. I don't understand why. Like, I mean, I like saving money. So, I'm saving money doing this right now. Obviously, this has been like a long video, but I don't care. I'm not going anywhere. Sure, I'd like to be watching a football game, but meh. I'm making a very cheap fix. You know how much it would have cost if I had had those clowns over at Jiffy Lube or wherever else do this? I don't mean to be mean to them, but they tend to be clowns. Because they're like, oh yeah, you need a new this and that and the other thing. I'm like, no you don't. So if you ever take your car somewhere, find out if you actually need the thing they're telling you need. Like, post it on this channel or something, because a lot of times they're just trying to make money. And they make it off of people all the time. And that's really sad, because you shouldn't take advantage of people. It's not good. So, we're tightening this. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this guy here. Okay. Remember I was saying about the trick, we just leave this here? This will eventually catch onto something. This sucker on the other side, we got to torque down to like, I want to say it's like 200 pounds or something. It's something stupid. So, you're going to hear more grunting, but it's necessary. Okay, that's 80. We're going to go more. A lot more. That's one. Okay, that's shaking the whole car. So we're going to call that good. And I took this car up to 70 miles an hour. 75 actually last night. And nothing shook, rattled, or rolled. So wherever good as that was concerned. So doing this strong enough to where you feel the car almost lifting up off the jack. That's what I'm like. That feels about 200. That's 80. That's more. A little more after that. Plus, I'm taking this to get aligned. Because after you do this, if I didn't mention that before, oh, that's in there good. You got to get an alignment on it. So, I wonder if I can take that out. Boy, I got that wedged in there good. Whoa, I did not expect that. Dad blasted. The whole thing moves. That's amazing. The reason it's moving up and down is so you don't panic. Start freak out just because I don't have it on the top done yet. There we go. It's all trial and error, baby. Okay. Oh, see that nut turning? That's what you don't want. Okay, a little more. Sorry for the grunts. I promise it makes you stronger. Okay. Now, whew, we have put our brakes together-ish. We're not bleeding everywhere, but I got us a nice mess. Remember this guy? Sucks. I hate this part so much. So we're gonna save it to the very end. Let's do the top end. So, all right, ready? So, remember I was telling you about that one bolt that we were saying you have to wait till you have it upright? Well, there it is. So, put this guy in there, like so. And if you have an electric socket, you can count yourself lucky, because these are cool. Is it going the right way? It is not. Okay. So we're gonna put this on here. Land it. And the problem is, I think it's a bite. But okay, there we go. So it struggled because of this stupid plastic thing. But it's all plastic is stupid. No, I'm just kidding. So now we need the 12, I think, for that one. Is that correct? So let's put it here. Okay. You want these on tight. How tight? We can look that up if you're really curious. But I don't think it matters that much. Okay. I mean, you want to get them as tight as you kind of basically can, but it's a bolt on a nut. So where's it gonna go? I mean, these are really comfortable to hit against your hand constantly. Let me tell you, it's fun. I could do it all day. Yay. Okay. Well, let's see. I'm trying to not like put all my weight in the car. It's honestly a lot easier to work on cars when you're not on camera. Believe it or not. Hey, whoa, did you just get flipped? You did. Yeah, that plastic thing up above is super annoying. So, I will tell you, you can fast forward this part, but I'm going to keep tightening these. So I'm struggling like crazy getting that last. I got that close one in, but I can't get that farthest one in. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the rest of this together, put the wheel on, call it the bottom done. Then I'm going to go back up top, get that bolt on there, because I need to be able to yank and move this thing around, and I just don't like putting my weight on stuff when I'm held up by a jack stand and a jack. So here's the dreaded worst part. So let's switch this around. Okay. So it's right here. Let me see if I can see this. Okay, so this guy right here. There we go. Worst part ever. Like I said, I'm not trying to complain. It's just this part sucks. Completely. So you got to get this kind of lined up. This doesn't really want to cooperate too well. But there's a groove underneath it on the bottom. And so what you want to do is take this piece, stick it back in. So this is where you kind of really want two people. Or if you can, if you're strong enough, you bite down on this like that. You hold it from the bottom and you shove. Oops. This way. Okay, I got a little bit of it on there by shoving that clip on. Let's see if I can do some more. Okay. Oh, it's like something. It's getting that groove exposed. just can never seem to get. I couldn't get this on the other side very well either. So you can kind of, I don't know if you can see the groove, but there's a groove down there. And you have to basically try to get this piece lined up. Hold on to it. So this is the part where all you gurus out there, tell me what you're doing, because I hate this part. And I struggle greatly with getting this clip in. And if you're like, oh yeah, it's easy, just do this. Oh man, well I can't give you money. I definitely will give you a high five, thumbs up, subscribe to your channel or whatever else you want. But dadgum, dude. And all it's trying to do, this is a retaining clip to keep your brake line from wiggling around. And at this point, I'm like, freaking let it wiggle. What is the problem here? Dadgummit. So what I did with my son is I had him hold this underneath like this, put some pressure on it, and then we kind of were able to accomplish it that way on the other side. But I gotta tell you, I don't know how perfect it is, but it was holding it. Okay, almost good, maybe. You get a screwdriver so I can pry it down. Yeah, this is just what I would call a failure. Freaking hey, dude. What is wrong with this thing? So, Toyota, your design sucks. I'm not gonna say it any different than that. This is just terrible design. You could have put a bolt here or something, a cotter pin, I don't know. But this is a joke. Because nothing should be this difficult. So see, I keep getting part of it in and I just can't get the rest. Man, so like I said, if you want to skip forward now, you're just dealing with a man that's frustrated with a stupid car. But this is also reality. So before you do this job and you go, oh, this is easy. Well, some of the things are easy. We've been doing a lot of easy videos, but this freaking thing sucks. I'm gonna hammer it down a little bit because I kind of bent the crap out of it. Okay. Okay, so there's the clip. Push it, which I can't do. See, what you need to do is just push this. You need to push this clip this way, and I freaking can't do that. And I think because I'm just failing here. It's like you ever watch P90X where the guy's like Tony Horton, I think his name is Tony Horton. Yeah. He's like, real sweat, real people. Oh, this is real life, real cars. This isn't like some sexy shop that's like, oh yeah, it's easy to do. We do this all the time. Or they do shortcuts, or they, you know, I bet you they have other stuff they do. But this is nuts. So I'm gonna try to pinch this right here. See if I can get this to come down. Can't wait till I show this to like Eric the car guy, or have Scotty Kilmer tell me the 400 things wrong with this. But nah, I'm not really that cool. They're not gonna care. But I care, and I can't get this stupid thing in here. Come on. You get so close. Come on, you clip. I feel like the first bounce, this thing is gonna go flying. Yeah, I have no idea how to get this thing in and out. I even thought maybe you could put it upside down, but that doesn't freaking work either. Does it? This is all bent out of shape now. Yeah, it's gotta be when you lift this piece up, which I'm not doing well, but somehow. Is it the shape of it? Well, I have no idea. So I'm gonna have to come up with another solution. So we will put this on pause for a while. Okay, I let that video go on a long time because I wanted you to see how much life can suck. But so let me give you a very close up of what's going on. I finally figured it out. So the way this works is there is a edge underneath this. You have to kind of turn and get this little knuckle up high enough to where you can get a piece of this edge underneath there. Now this isn't under both sides, but that's not going anywhere. I'm calling her good. I'm gonna wipe this up because look at this bloody mess. So this is good enough for me. This is on, everything looks fine. So now what we gotta do is get this lowered, get the top bolts secured, and then we'll get for a test drive. Now you know how I always like to tell you to do a check, so you keep your own. I do keep all my nuts and extras. See this guy right here? We forgot this one. But I was going through quickly to do a final check because again, that's the smart thing to do. And this guy was not on there. So this one is I think it's a 14 millimeter. It most certainly is. So that's beautiful. Now what we need to do is get this guy on there. And we will put a nice, so what I'm trying to do is find my half-inch driver because I want to get this all wrapped up and done. This has been taking a while today. It will be fun to watch a little bit of football. So, here we go. Wow. There we go. Okay. That is on now. Everything looks better, back to normal. Let's get this all brake fluid cleaned up everywhere. We're gonna load the car and get that top bolt on. We'll see if it's a little easier that way. Now, while I'm cleaning up all this brake fluid, I'm gonna tell you about my old motorcycle. So why do you care about my old motorcycle? Well, it's about brake fluid, that's why. So I had this crappy old paint from the 70s on my old Honda XL 185S. For all you older guys, you know what that is. And the challenge was, I wanted to repaint it because it had this ugly orange paint that I could not stand. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and paint it. Well, I needed to take the paint off. So I was like, well, how do I do that? Well, guess what? Brake fluid is an amazing paint destroyer. And I mean amazing. So what you do is you take brake fluid and you leave it on your surface that you want the paint to be completely removed. So I did that. So I left the paint on there for like 12 hours, and then came back, and I was able to wipe that paint off with like I had a bristle brush and like a couple Brillo pads and some things. But point is that all that is, when you're dealing with brake fluid, you do not want to leave this on a surface because it is corrosive. I'm not sure what's in it, but it's very corrosive and it makes an awful mess. So I got most of this off my floor, but I'm going to probably get the scrubber and scrub this out now because, well, once I move the car out of here, because I don't want this to destroy my beautiful floor. So let's get the tire back on. Like I said, we checked everything, nothing missing underneath. Bolt, this, here, good. Okay, so now line up the lug nuts. There we are. Put your shoe against there so it doesn't fall on you. Always finger tight them first. I teach all my kids when they're old enough to change the tire the same thing. Do not use power tools until you get them on free spinning. Free spinning. Free spinning. Now, most of these are 21 foot, or not 20 foot pounds. 21 millimeters is the size. So get this on here. Now, don't trust this to torque it down enough. It's not the right torque. Okay, this does about 45 foot-pounds max, which is great. I love this tool, but it's not what you need. You need 80 on this car. Now, you could also use your air, but I was like, I'm kind of having fun with this. It's just nice to have multiple options. So once we're done with that, pop quiz hot shot, do we torque them down yet? The answer is no, we do not. The reason is because we're on a jack and a jack stand. So if we do that, we're going to jump the car, possibly off the stand, and hurt ourselves or someone else. So jack it up a little bit more. Get the jack stand out. Lower the jack down. Now we're on the wheel again. Now we can go 80 pounds till the click. Take one, go to the other corner. Okay, one. Other corner. Okay, one. And then they always say, there it is, to go around again and double check it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now, we're not done. So I was saying to put this goofy thing back on. When you put these on, look, because there's a groove. Where the heck is it right here? Is the groove. See it? It's a little tiny thing. That groove is where your wonderful air inlet is. You want to put that in the right spot. Otherwise, it won't go on right. Dead blow hammer. I have to tell you, if you don't have a dead blow hammer, you're missing out. These things are so nice. They just make life awesome. So, I'm going to take these nasty gloves off now. And we're essentially done except for that last bolt. So, we're going to go ahead and, I don't know if you want to see it, but I don't think so. So, thanks everybody for watching. It's been a long day. It's been like over an hour. But I left this running on purpose because I wanted you guys to see how long this can take. This is the tools you need to make it successful. You saw that brake fluid. If you want, we can go around the front. I'll show you how much is in the brake reservoir. I know it didn't bleed all the way out because I did this yesterday on the other side. So that said, I'm going to go ahead and be done. So put this thing back together on the last, like close the trunk, roll it out, and test her out. But I think we're happy. So thanks again for all your support. And please like and subscribe. And hit me up with all the questions you guys have been. It's been great. Thanks, and have a great day. Hey guys, I wanted to show you real fast what I found out. To get to that last nut in there, it was really hard to get that socket on it. That's what I was struggling with that whole time. So, a open end box one, set on there. Not this one, but the other one in the back. But tighten it down with this. First, to get it down to where the socket's not bouncing up and down like that one is. Now we can just walk this one through like so. You can see. There. So now that I have that, I can do this. So anyway, that's what was the challenge with the top one. So thanks again for watching, guys. As always, appreciate everything you guys would do, and keep watching for more videos.